we're also celebrating something else today, I think. Ready? So tomorrow marks my 12-year journey, well, uh of saying farewell to certain death and darkness and doom. That was a great choice. And I'm still making that choice every day. So that's good on me. But today marks the day that I'm gonna fucking, excuse my language, play this piano like a motherfucker and bust out some paper moon. Now I have no qualms about using the term motherfucker, um, musically speaking, because, well, if you know me, you know I'm a blues baby. I don't think I've ever actually said that on here out loud. It's kind of cute. If I was a dude, I'd call myself a blues daddy, but I'm not a dude. I could still call myself, you know what? I'm blues daddy. I'm gonna call myself a blues daddy. Cutest damn blues daddy in the game. Not in the game yet. Would love to be in the game. I got a suggestion for a gospel church that I'm going to visit. I'm very excited. Apparently, it's a whole like ministry of women who were like, "What the fuck? The Catholic Church doesn't allow like females to be in the clergy." And so there's this amazing, I guess, like uh gospel. Her background is, I think, with gospel, like churches where gospel is a large part. I don't know specifically because like the building is secondary to God, right? Uh, and I might be talking about God and gospel. It's the same, like there's no difference. You know what I mean? Uh, if you don't go listen to Mahalia Jackson and Mildred Falls, yeah, I have to like, I want to like pay somebody to isolate her piano so I can just hear her piano, or I want to figure out how to do. I can figure out how to do it. All right, so today is the day. Today is the day that I'm gonna play. It's only Paper Moons. I tried it. I tried the Nat King Cole version because I know he's in my range. Like that's who trains me vocally as a kid. Like if you guys ever think that I remotely sound anything like a vocalist, I'm not trained aside from like my sixth grade, my like elementary school music teacher who did not recognize talent and tested us like this and made us sing the note on an out of tune piano. He also had booze in his drawer in his desk. Which that was the rumor. And I didn't mind. I like actually found that like a cute little accessory for him. Like if he was a Barbie, like that would be his accessory. Anyway, so aside for that, my only musical like vocal training is like memorizing every lyric to Nat King Cole CDs in the 90s at my grandparents' house. And then a lot of stuff on their jukebox. They had a great jukebox. And I spent a lot of time just pressing those buttons. Or Nina, you know. I listened to her like, I mean, hundreds of hours because she was for a whole year just my running music. Like, you know, Wild as the Wind and High Priestess of Soul. Thank you. All right. Rolling up our sleeves. We're going to do a Jimmy Dean. James Dean. How do you make Jimmy Dean a musical like hero, like a tall tale type of hero? I'm gonna write a song about Jimmy Dean and his big sausage. Whoa, Jimmy Dean came down. I'm not doing it now. I'm gonna do that on guitar. All right, here we go. Where is it? Where is it? I don't need this open. I don't need this open. Oh wait, do I want? No, I'm not gonna do that today. Though that is an interesting REM song that I was listening to then. All right, let's see. I need that. It's funny the songs that I was listening to then. Also, I gone through like a Dylan thing, and I'd like I made this massive playlist of all like the basement tapes and like I think B-sides and stuff, like all of like the rarities, because like I remember being in the 90s and like going to college into my record stores and like throughout my like early adult life and being like, where's the Dylan? Like And like that was always like the basement tapes were like a secret, like not a secret, but they were not easy to get at one point, if I recall correctly. My music store guy gave me, I think I traded him one CD and he gave me like a shoebox of Dylan. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is my destiny. You know what I mean? My mom hated Dylan, which probably made him more enticing, right? All right, I got my chat up here. I'm gonna play. Thank you for sticking around. Let's play. Uh, this sounded good before I was playing it, so I'm excited about it. I'm gonna open this though so I could see the chords. I have to check on that. Hold on one second. I think I have somebody coming for the yard today, so hold on. And my friend might be back in town. Give me a minute. Ink, ink. I'll be right back. Stay. You guys are tried and true. You didn't even go too far. Is this the D9 here or is it like this? Sorry, D9 is like that. Wait, it's two? I thought I was just adding one more. You're adding two more notes? Oh, I need to take a seat for this. Oh, wait. No, this is the best version. You can't do that. You got to give me all the chords. You can't just cheat the chords. That's not cool. Is there another version? Though I like that one. G major 7. Remember that. All right. Well, let's just try that. I can probably figure it out. That's a good test. Most of it they give you, it's only like a quarter that they're not giving me there. So I think I could work through. Ready? Mm-hmm. Say it's only a paper moon hanging over us. They were excited too. Cardboard sea. That's a look good. I'm gonna just work with the chords for a second. And if you ever play Harold Arlen, you should do that too because he's very complicated. But Nat King Cole, what I love about Nat King Cole, like, so I like read a lot about the musicians that I like, or like listen to like podcast things about them, and like Nat King Cole, which is interesting because I never specifically set out to listen to anything about him, right? But because I'm so obsessed with the blues and because jazz and like that like early like big band like soul like all that stuff gospel kind of like gets mixed into the like blues house, so like it all is like it's all like kind of in the same neighborhood, you know what I mean? And so I was watching another documentary about blues or jazz or something, and they kept talking about Nat King Cole, and I was like, no shit. Like I thought he was just like, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis kind of cat. Like I never like, and I only knew him like vocally from like this one CD. Like, I mean, obviously I've learned like his part and the role that he played, especially as a piano player of that period. Like, but why I bring his piano skills up is because there's a lot of pinky action happening here, and that's what he's known for. Like, Nat is like known for like taking his pinky and going and like doing crazy stuff with it, right? And it's what's here. So it's like G major 7, then he hits the F sharp with his pinky. Only paper. That's probably supposed to do something here too. It's A flat. Seriously, I was gonna play and then I just start singing. It's not intentional. I can't help it. That's why it's like people ever get on me about my voice. I'm like, dude, like first of all, it's really beautiful that it's like it comes from a place that's like that I can't stop. Like it's like that I couldn't play this song without singing it. But second of all, like how can you get on somebody for singing? It's like people who hate wind chimes or dogs. Like just I love you. Oh, it's C6, okay. Like that. This is D9. So today something came up in my YouTube feed, which they were talking about. It was actually good content. I should have subscribed. It's probably in my history, so I'm gonna go back and subscribe. I don't know who the girl was. I looked it up. I think she's somebody. I think she's like an actual like music like well known musician who went on to like make content now, which I love. Oh, I did hear that. And the vacuum's talking to me. I love that like musicians have gone out on to like use YouTube and stuff to put out content in their later years. Also I really like this age of music. Like this period of music that we're in, there's a lot of great music coming out of like geriatric musicians. And I can say that because when I was pregnant, they called it a geriatric pregnancy. So if at 38, when I was pregnant, we can call that a geriatric pregnancy, then I could definitely call the Stones geriatric. But they don't move like they're geriatric and they don't play like they're geriatric. And they're definitely well, I don't know. I think their geriatricness is what makes them sexy to me. So I would definitely be their nurses. Where's my pinstripe leg dress? Let's go. Keith, you need me to wrap you? You need a sponge fabric? I forget the other guy's name. There's a couple of other guys, right? Like there's been other people. Those are like the two like pillars, right? And then there's the other guy who I is been in with the trio, but I always forget him. Uh, I know I suck. Don't listen. I've got my brain is handling a lot of other stuff. I know I should know their names. It's like being like, oh, I'm Catholic, but I don't know who Saint Anthony is. Right. All right, here we go. What was I doing here? What was I doing here? I forgot. Oh, no, it was fine. I think I was gonna look something up. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys what that YouTuber was saying. So that YouTuber that I watched, who makes content. Heart also does this. I don't know if they make new content, but Heart's channel has like all, and I keep meaning to go back and watch it, and I just haven't had a chance to. And I think I'm gonna put it on maybe today. Let's do that. Today I'm gonna do some dishes. I'm gonna get off of this in a minute. I'm gonna quickly get a bite to eat. And then let's listen to the chicks from Heart. Again, I should know their names. Let's get their names. Love how I'm like, let's find out the chicks from Heart's names instead of knowing all the Stones names, right? I stand by that. I accept this decision. All right, band. They're so fucking cool. I don't know. Like if I was alive in the 70s, it would have been all heart all the time. Like I would have just been like, everything else sucks. What? They're just. I mean, even in the 80s, I was like that as a kid. Like Barracuda would come on, I would fucking lose my mind, you know. But I think that was like, what was that, late 70s? When was Barracuda released? Anyway, it had a lot of circulation, especially in my 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 77. Yeah, that makes sense. So I was, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Ah, you know, my mom was really cool, so she probably liked them. I bet you she saw them. I feel like she did see them. I feel like I went through her book of like stubs and stuff, and I feel like that was Bowie was definitely in there. Fleetwood Street. She saw the Dreams tour. Like, it killed me when I went to her apartment. I wasn't upset that she didn't have my baby albums. Like that part I didn't care about, you know? What I cared about was she didn't have her like album of book, her like 1970, like her late, like right before she got pregnant with me, or like, high school year, like to like 18, like photo album that she like took the pictures with and like, kept all the stuff for the like historical shows that she, that part killed me that she didn't have that album. Like though you see me looking at the camera a lot, it's not because I'm like checking myself, it's actually because I'm really paranoid that I'm gonna like, well, because I'm a little top heavy, like I'm paranoid that I'm gonna end up like getting a hump. So like I'm gonna get a mirror here so I can like correct like a ballerina does like my form and posture because I intend to play a lot and I don't want to be like this. But I don't, sometimes you gotta get like you gotta get into it. I love when I see a pianist do this. Like when I see their form go like that, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what's gonna happen next? You know? All right, here we go. So their names, it's Nancy, I think, right? Nancy Wilson, and then who's the other girl? Uh, Oh yeah, there's some guys in there too. Sorry. I don't mean to be like all crazy Amazon woman about art. Like they only matter. Nancy and Ann only matter. Ann and Nancy Wilson. Oh, mamas. Here we go. It can never happen again. You know? It's only a paper moon. And over a cardboard. I never finished my thought. Sorry. So the girl whose YouTube it was, her whole episode was just on the 11, the 9, the 11, and the 13, right? So for instance, if you're playing like, that's the one bad part about the robot. And I'm not like crawling on the floor and grabbing it right now. He's under the couch. We're not doing that. Anyway, so you guys are just gonna have to have that in the background, and they're gonna have to take the robot vacuum out in post. Okay, here we go. So if you were playing, for instance, like a C, right, and you wanted to make it a C7, right? Well, then you would play the C, but you'd also play like a C chord, C E G, right? But then you would also play that B. You could do it depends on how you want it to voice. You could do it lower. You could do it right next to it if you want tension like this, right? Or you could do it over here, which most of the time it's the end note, right? Most of the time it's either the beginning note or the end note, and it's a little bit spaced apart, right? So you hear something like this, right? So that would be a C7, I think. Sometimes they just do the root and the seven like that, right? So there's different varieties of it. But the woman called these 7, 9, 11, and 13 notes, right? Um, Optional notes. And she said there's not really a word for it in English. I think she was talking about French. She's like I'm not sure if it was French or German, but she was saying that they're called optional notes, which is true sometimes, right? But then there's sometimes when I'm playing a song and I'm like, no, that, especially on guitar, with rock and guitar, when it calls for an E7, you got to play the E7. You don't drop an E7, like, or a C7. Like when it's those real, like, heavy hit and power chords and it calls for that 7, you got to play the 7, right? It's not an option, right? For instance, this opens with a G major 7, right? That's not, it's not an option. It's telling you what you have to play it, right? If you play just a G, it doesn't sound right. And that was my mistake. I think I simplified it. Say it's only a paper moon. Actually, it sounds bad. In that situation, it doesn't. I just disproved myself. It's okay. I'm humble enough to accept that. All right, let me look at the actual chords. Let's just run through. I know I said I was going to do this before. This is crazy. How are you supposed to play that? I'll bring all my hands over here. Wait, what? Okay. So it's a regular D. Okay, I got that. That part I got down. And then you add the C and E. D9. Hmm. Say it's only a paper moon. Hanging over the cardboard city. But it wouldn't be make believe if you believe in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky. Hanging over a muslin tree. But it wouldn't be make believe if you believe in me. Without your love. It's a heartbeat song for rain. Without your love, it's a melody playing in a candy arcade. I love it. It's a part of my every word. Just as funny as it can be. But it wouldn't be make believe if you believed in me. I don't know what to end it on. Anyway, hey, I'll see you guys in a minute. We're gonna do some dishes, I think. All right. Come back for the bubbles.